In today's video, we have a major update on Johnny Gargano going to AEW. Also, we're going to talk about AEW passing up on a free agent signing. And we're going to talk about WWE possibly opening the forbidden door yet again. However, this time with the NWA. If you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I bring you the latest news and rumors and give you my reactions to all of the stories happening every single day. All right, guys, we're going to kick things off today with Zicky Dice. If you guys didn't know, Zicky Dice was a potential signing for AEW at some point. If you watch NWA, if you watch Impact Wrestling, if you watch independent wrestling, then Zicky Dice is a name that you may be familiar with. Also has a pretty nice following on social media and Twitch as well. Now, Zicky Dice did appear on AEW before, but then of course we never saw the next move for him. Now, keep in mind, in the past there's been reports of drama between him and Nick Aldis from NWA, which kind of led to this falling out. Then we saw him on Impact Wrestling. And then, look, guys, here's the thing. With wrestling, you never know who AEW is going to sign. Obviously, AEW Dark and Dark Elevation is a great place for independent wrestlers to come, get some experience, work with AEW's team. But at the same time, too, I was actually kind of shocked that AEW decided to not sign Zicky Dice. I thought AEW not signing him was pretty interesting because typically if you look at AEW signings, for the most part, they try to pick up people that are influential in the indie wrestling world. And for whatever reason, AEW decided to pass on that option. But keep in mind, AEW also decided to pass on Buddy Murphy, which was quite shocking as well. Now, I'm not saying Zicky Dice would have gone to AEW television and made big changes, but I do believe Zicky Dice and the AEW audience would have gelled really well together, and I think people would have enjoyed him, especially when you see guys like Orange Cassidy, when you see guys like Marco Stunt have some sort of role that, is favored by the audience. I think Zicky Dice would have been a great asset in that regard. Now, keep in mind, Zicky Dice is currently on television with Impact Wrestling and NWA. There's a belief that he might be headed back, but I do believe the door is always open. Will we see him sign? That's going to be a real question for the future. All right, guys, WWE is possibly bringing back Melina Perez to the Royal Rumble match. We know that PW Insider has dropped some information that Melina is in talks with WWE to do the Royal Rumble match. Now, as it stands right now, Melina is currently with Impact Wrestling and NWA. Unless something has changed that hasn't been provided, to the media and press, the belief is that she is still with both of those companies. Now, whether or not WWE brings her in and recognizes her as an NWA wrestler is really the question here. I think a lot of people who follow Melina will know who she is, but they might not know what she's actually doing in pro wrestling today. So if you're not somebody who consistently watches NWA or Impact, then obviously you would understand that you would have a hard time understanding what she's actually up to because that is where she's been primarily used. Now, keep in mind, just because she's been used in Impact and NWA doesn't actually mean she's signed there, but the opportunity for her to join WWE's Royal Rumble match while still being a free agent, still appearing on other wrestling shows, is still crazy just because for so long WWE typically has to have you sign some sort of contract to be with WWE to appear on WWE television and pay-per-views. So WWE is in fact changing their stance on these things. I'm all for it. I know we all criticize WWE sometimes for their creative and stuff. And I understand that some people have this argument that WWE is doing this because they've released so much talent. But if that's what it meant, if WWE released so much talent and they're still working with other companies to bring in talent, honestly, that's a great thing for WWE. And that's a great thing for those wrestlers because that means those wrestlers can go work in other companies while still appearing on WWE, which I'm sure is a big dream for them. I do think WWE bringing in Melina would be a great idea. I think that women's Royal Rumble is important. I do 100% stand by the idea that Charlotte Flair is going to win and she's going to hand pick her opponent. I do think there's a lot of people who want that Mickie James Charlotte Flair match. I'm just saying it would be really cool for Charlotte to pick her if she did, in fact, win the Rumble. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to support me, I have a new channel called Ango Plays. This is a channel where I bring you guys WWE 2K22, AEW's console game, video games in the wrestling world. That channel is for you. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. If you guys could click subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. I've already started uploading content there, and I would really appreciate if you guys help the brother out. All right, guys, we're going to talk about Johnny Gargano and AEW. As you know, I've been following very closely along to the storyline of Johnny Gargano possibly going to AEW. And despite the fact that there has not been a 100% actual, announcement, the belief is that Tony Khan's dream signing is, in fact, Johnny Gargano. Now, we did talk about this previously in another video that Johnny Gargano would debut January 26th in Cleveland, Ohio for AEW Dynamite. And the belief is now getting stronger. Many people out there are speculating this. But what's really interesting here is Johnny Gargano is doing a limited edition t-shirt drop on ProWrestlingTees. And the last day for this t-shirt to be on sale is, in fact, January 25th, the day before his Dynamite debut. Now, my belief is that Johnny Gargano could be doing this for two reasons. Keep in mind, ProWrestlingTees works with AEW Shop. But my belief is that Johnny Gargano will be holding this shirt temporarily. And then once he debuts on Wednesday Night Dynamite, they're going to release, obviously, his new merchandise, which should sell through the roof. This is actually a really good strategy, in my opinion, if you're trying to increase sales of your merchandise. But also, at the same time, there is this hype going forward. It's almost like CM Punk debuting in Chicago, right? It's like it's the worst, best kept secret. And I think that's kind of what AEW and Johnny Gargano are accomplishing here. I do believe that Johnny Gargano is Tony Khan's dream signing. I think Tony Khan, growing up, being a huge indie wrestling fan, obviously being a big fan of Johnny Gargano, I do believe that is the direction they're going. Now, if Johnny Gargano does, in fact, go to AEW, I pray and hope that AEW has something planned with this guy, because you guys know where I've criticized AEW in the past. My issue has been, you're signing people, but you're not necessarily doing stuff with these people. And if we're just going to get Johnny Gargano padding his record on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, I'd much rather see what WWE does with him on the main roster than see him get this big record but not big storylines. And I don't think I'm being critical. I think I'm just being honest. I like Johnny Gargano, so I want to see him in something prominent. I want to see him do something special. Otherwise, just watching him wrestle, I was doing that on Wednesday night, so it's got to feel different. And I think Tony Khan knows that with Johnny Gargano. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, I bring you new videos every single day. If you guys want news videos, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out Ango Plays. New videos every single day on both channels. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.